Hello and welcome to my completed pages for April 2023. As usual, I'm a little bit late, but I've decided to look after my well-being by having some lovely yogi tea. This is a really nice one if you've not tasted it. It's sort of cinnamony and comforting. It's got cinnamon, sage and oregano. I think if you're in the States, if you're British or Australian, I think it's oregano. Definitely South African, it's oregano. And it's a very nice tea. I actually enjoy the yogi teas. I also thought I'd start with a quote which says, "Art enables us to find ourselves and lose ourselves at the same time," by Thomas Merton. And this came from Art Savings Club, where I get quite a few of my supplies from. So I thought that was a lovely quote. I'm going to start with the colouring pages, and then I'll do the little bit that I've painted in my watercolours later, so that if you're not interested in the painting, you can just stop the video at that time. As far as planning goes, I didn't get very far. I'm obviously not a planner girl. I'm trying to be. I'm not an organized person, but there's my April things. I again had another quote. "It's good to have an end to journey towards, but it is the journey that matters in the end." That's by Ursula K. Le Guin. And I wrote down, I did as much as I could and enjoyed the process. That was me. I've coloured 13 pictures in April. I've coloured in 12 books. I've done actually 6 watercolours. I must change that. I found another one that I'd forgotten I did. And I've done 2 buddy colours. I never did anything in my calendar because I didn't. I wrote down the things of what I coloured and painted in my YouTube videos. I'm separating the colouring, which I try to aim for Monday and Friday, and the watercolour, which is Wednesdays, because it is my plan, if I ever get up to 250 views within the first 2 days of a watercolour Wednesday video, that's not an unboxing, then I might decide to move my channel to a separate channel. But at the moment, my name, Liz at Home, I gave it to myself to kind of cover everything. My colouring plans didn't happen. I didn't do much of Jamie's thing. I think I just did the R's for reading. And those were my buddy colours. Then I did do hashtags. That was most of my colouring. And I didn't get to the Hannah Carlson, but nor did I get to the one colour challenge, which I wanted to. But I did the others I'd planned on. And I've started May with less planning than I did for April, and I'm going to go from there. I saw somebody, I think it could have been Megan from Disney Megs gives her analytics, and I actually think that's a very good idea to track my channel journey. So starting with the colouring, in Circle of Life, I did this one. And checking that it's in screen because it's quite a large book. There we are. I did it for Circle Maquinero hashtag. I used Starjoy pencils, Sparkle Pops and Staedtler fine liners, and I really enjoyed colouring this. Wonder if we can see the sparkle. Yeah, you should be able to see it a little bit there. Shining. So I gave the birdies sparkly chests, etc. And I enjoyed colouring this. It was a relaxing, enjoyable colour, and I always feel daunted by these pictures, but they actually colour very nicely. So that's that one. And I quite like how it turned out. Then in this Colour by Colours, which is by, I think, Kira Shirshnova, yeah. I'm colouring it from the back because I tend to use alcohol markers and they cover the thing. So this is the first one I did, and I think it turned out really prettily. And I used Crayola Super Tips for that one, and they actually went down really nicely on this paper. It felt nice. And that's all I did, Crayola Super Tips. And maybe it would have fitted a hashtag, but I didn't look. And then I did this one also. And that one I used just touch markers. I put nothing else on it. But I enjoyed the process, and I'm nearly finished this book. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more here. 5 pictures left, and I've finished the book. I would love to get myself another Colour by Colours book, but I'm going to try not to buy anything for the next few months. I'm going to be doing a haul video next. And in this one, my grandson actually helped me with quite a lot. He did a lot of the grass. He did the puppy. He did this guy's face and his pants. And yeah, I think he did it really nicely. That was Logan. Then I did this one, and it was the first one in this book. This was the first one in my romantic country. It's the second tale. I'm so pleased to have hashtags and buddy colours and things like that, because I've had this book, I think, from 2017 or 2018. When was it? When did it come out? Is this a day? Is there a date? Well, whenever the book was first published, I bought it. And I've only coloured my first image now. And I did this one as a buddy colour. Let me move this over and check it's in screen. I did it with Megan Hughes from Disney Makes Colouring. I will put her picture here for you to see. I used Inktense pencils as a first layer. Then I used Prismas, I used soft pastels, and I used a stencil for the floor. And I really enjoyed colouring. And once I started, it was not... I also used some sparkles, which I didn't write down. It was probably Sparkle Pops. You can see a couple of the labels and things. I put a bit of sparkle in. But it's a matter of starting something. Because when I start something, I invariably do finish it. So that's that from Romantic Country by Airy, the second tale. Then from Deborah Miller's Easter Parade, where I have the PDF book, I did this little picture, and I love how this turned out. I didn't write down what I used, but it was pastels, and I probably used... It was all pencil. No, it wasn't all pencil. Probably used my new, which you will see in my haul, my new Ohuhu pastel markers. And I did it for my hashtag, the Pretty in Pastel, April to June 2023. So there's still time to join that hashtag if you'd like to. And I did a little bit of sparkle with white gel pen. And I did the blue heart for Jamie's blue heart. Autism, remember autism, hashtag. And I tried the pink clouds. I'm not sure what you think. Let me know what you think. Did they work? Didn't they work? Then I went and got a bee in my bonnet and added some blue, which I'm not sure. But that's that. Oh, I also did this for the hashtag of yellow hair, red lips, although her lips are more pink. Then in Matchstick Mouse, an autumn colouring book by Morgan O'Brien. Oopsie. I did this one. And this was done following... I can't remember. It was either Megan or Amanda. I think it was Amanda. did a colour along, but I didn't use her colours. I used pastel colours, and I also put this, I think, into my hashtag. And I used some sparkle there, and then glaze pen on top of these drops. I don't know if you can see them shining. Let me see if they get the light there. And I just went to check up. It's called Glossy Accents. Glossy Accents. I think I also put Glossy Accents. Yes, I can feel it on the little spider. I really enjoyed colouring that. I love these Matchstick Mouse books. Next, another Matchstick Mouse. This is the summer one. I've said before, I'm not particularly a seasonal colourist. I did this as a buddy colour. No, I didn't. I did this as a video on my channel using my new Artex acrylic markers. So that's that one. And they bled through some of the time when I used them a lot and painted with them with water. So they're not one I would use on a double-sided thin-paged book. And I used some shiny Wink of Stella on the eyes. I'm not a seasonal colorist because I tend to find that being in South Africa and the other side of the world to the majority of the colorists that I follow, everybody's in the opposite season to me, so I just color what I feel like coloring. Except I do tend to keep Christmas pages for Christmas or Christmas in July. This is from Forest Diver, another one of the books that I had done nothing in before and bought in 2016, 2017, 2018. It was reserved. It was released. I just read all rights reserved and said that. So again, I used, this was for a tutorial on using my oil pastels. And I used them in various ways, and you can follow that tutorial. It's on my channel. And then I also used Artex acrylic markers, and I used watercolor pencils. And then I did it for At Lavella's Colouring and for April Colour Your Hoard. And I did it for at Jamie's Colouring Love for the little blue heart, and Enchanting Year of Colour for Castle. And for the Blue Heart Challenge, yes. So that was all the things I did. I used a metallic marker on his sword, so there's a little shine. And there's a little shine because I used a pearlized, one of the oil pastels as a pearlized kind of one to give a bit of a shine there to the sun. So yeah, I'm not thrilled with how this turned out, but it was a great learning experience and I actually enjoyed doing it. And I'm pleased I've got into that book. Then I had a nice relaxing colour with this one, and I actually did this but then didn't post it on Instagram because I didn't like how it turned out. I did this for breakdown prompts for Polka Dot for Jamie. I used touch markers, Wink of Stella and white jelly roll, but the Wink of Stella is on there. I didn't think it looked very nice and I didn't think it warranted being posted on Instagram. Sorry picture, sorry little girl. But so you can see, Jamie, if you happen to watch this, let me know in the comments that I was thinking of you. I just didn't like what I did enough to post it. Then just colouring for myself with nothing in particular, and I suppose I could have done it with there was a breakdown prompt about reading and stuff. Not a breakdown, there was a prompt. But I just felt like colouring and enjoying myself, and I actually love how there's Mangio pastels. I used various inexpensive pencils. I used some sort of metallic and slightly shiny, more metallic, just generic markers. And I really enjoyed this. I haven't done much in this book at all. But yeah, I kind of like how it turned out. In fact, I think it's the only thing I've done in this book. Yes. So many books, so many untouched pages. Quite sad, actually. This is from an old book, The Mysterious Library, which is by Waves of Colour, illustrated by Eunji Park. I don't know if you can see that. It was published in 2015, so it just shows. I've probably had it since 2016 or 2017. This is another one I did for Jamie's Enchanting Year of Colour Castles, and this is from Alexandra Dannemann's Magical Tiny Houses Volume 2. I printed this on nice smooth paper for markers, and I used my Ohuhu markers, and I used a little bit of metallic pen on the dots and things. I suppose that could have also gone for polka dots. And then I used some Ohuhu dot markers that I have for my grandchildren. And then I just felt it was floating on the page, so I did an untidy frame with some washi tape. Yeah, I enjoyed doing this. It was fun. I had lots of fun colouring it. In Matchstick Mouse, a springtime colouring book. I did this one as a buddy colour with Amanda Colours, and this was for Easter, and the little mouse doing his hot cross buns, and I used a glaze pen for the glazed crosses. I don't know if you can see them shining at all, but it's a bit 3D-ish. That's all I did extra there. And I think I used mostly pencils. It looks like it. No, it's got markers with pencils on top then. Can't remember which ones. I'm sorry. So that's that one. And then I just did one in my stone mosaic book. And I did this with Crayola Super Tips as well. I don't think it's particularly beautiful, but I really enjoy doing these. I tend to do these sorts of things at night when I just feel like relaxing and colouring something and not thinking. And I love the black background because it really doesn't matter if you go out of the lines. I've worked this book from the back as well, so that you don't get, so that it doesn't bother the list of what's what. So there's still quite a lot to do in there. I think I've only done one here. Yep. Oh, two. But yeah, so that is all my colouring for the month of April. So if you're not interested in the watercolours, you can switch off now, but I'm going to get into the watercolours. I've been still trying to do loose flowers. It's February. So I did some more roses. I feel as if they are getting a little bit better, and I did some rose buds. Then I did what are supposed to be ranunculus. This paper is very weird. I mean, it's the sizing's not in certain places, so it's very strange to colour on, but it's on the one hand, on the other hand, it's kind of cool because it just feels different. And then I'm still trying to do a peony, which I'm not successful at, but I did a different technique. I tried to paint the peony in a loose style, but then I took my very fine brush and I used the paint and I did as if I was drawing with a pen over it to define it, and I kind of like how that turned out. So those are my flowers. Then I did this one on the channel. And I quite like this. This is just an abstract landscape. I kind of like how that turned out. I really loved colouring it. Not colouring, painting it. I love the texture of the moving paint. And then you can see there's a bit of gold on it. So that's that. Then following from my MLFF box, I did the box number 3's project of the cacti, the vase of cacti. And I'm absolutely thrilled with how that came out. I messed there. But I think this is one of my better pieces to date. And then I did another thing using the same colour palette that I used on this. I did a watercolour and doodles. And I love how this turned out. If you'd like me to maybe do one of these sort of abstract watercolour and doodles relaxing videos, again, let me know. I've done it before. I've got some metallic paints on there as well. This was so much fun. I love that bleed. It happened spontaneously there. I made it happen because I liked that one. But that's also a spontaneous bleed. So I love how those turned out. And I like the restricted colour palette on them. So that's my watercolours. If there's anything in the watercolours that you'd like me to share with you, maybe this technique which is really easy, or I'm feeling now like I'm getting the roses almost right, if there is a right for loose watercolours, I don't know. But that's what I did for April 2023. And I want to thank you all so much for joining me, for watching, for everybody that creates great hashtags, for those that joined my hashtag, for all you wonderful colorists, especially people that comment on my videos. It really makes a big difference. And I really want to thank you all for your support. And I wish you a wonderful, happy week and month of colouring, painting, art and creativity. Lots of love to everybody. Bye-bye now.